Yo, podcast number 5. So I didn't plan anything for this. I've been so busy working on and tidying up the newest album, Prim and Primal. So that'll be out. I'm planning for like late July, but I cannot confirm that yet. So yeah, that's going to be awesome. I'm going to send around to loads of journalists and stuff like that. Stuff I previously haven't done with albums before. So like in the past, I've been so busy like just creating the music and just really coming up with ideas in my mind and concepts and constantly evolving my playing that I didn't really care about that stuff, to be honest. I just wanted to write the best music I could instead of getting people to say it was great when I knew it already was. You know what I mean? I know that may sound cocky, but that's just how I feel. So yeah, I'm the king. So yeah, this is going to be great. I'm after listening to it back I don't know how many times now, and it's just awesome. It's full of images, this album, and yeah, it's great. Like each track is around the 8 to 10 minute mark or so, and yeah, there's a lovely variety in this album, and the two guys are great. It was a pleasure playing with Dominic Munn and Derek Weiss for this, so we'll probably do another one again sometime. So yeah, it's exciting times. It really is. I'm just back from the Jazz Ahead 2021 digital conference as well. That was awesome. Cultural Ireland actually supported me to go to this. They gave me a bursary, which was awesome, which allowed me to participate in it. So yeah, I was very grateful for that, and I was on the improvised music company panel or team, whatever you want to call it, for that. So it was a pleasure meeting all those musicians as well. Some really talented people, like. So yeah, it was awesome, and met loads of people like abroad, from all around Europe and the States and otherwise, just globally. So yeah, it was 100% worth doing. I'm very lucky that I did go and that I actually noticed the application at the time, you know. So yeah, it was awesome. It was really awesome. So at the moment I'm preparing like for the next album, which will be at the end of this month, and yeah, this is exciting. Before, you see, I didn't like to announce like who was going to be playing on these albums, but now I don't care. It kind of challenges me more to make it even better, you know what I mean? It puts the extra pressure that I like at this stage. Before, it kind of would make me nervous. Now I want that, you know. I love that adrenaline coming up to it, and I gotta make this as great as I can, you know. And because it's really pushing you out of your comfort zone each time, and you're challenging yourself more and more and more. So yeah, this next album, I'm not sure when I'll release it, but I have a lot of recording coming up this summer, with loads of different projects. So they're all going to be very interesting stuff. But this one at the end of this month that's been recorded features Dave Redmond on double bass, Kevin Brady on drums, and Carol Nelson on keyboard or piano even, and maybe a mix of both, I'm not sure yet. But this is going to be called Urban World. So yeah, it's going to be cool. It's definitely going to be cool, and maybe another different side to my playing. I'm feeling like it'll be a lot more melodic, rather than scalic. But who knows what it'll turn out like. You know, it'll be nice. This will be the first album that I have a piano player on, so that isn't myself. So yeah, it'll be very nice to have that canvas, you know, to play over. And what great musicians, and I'm very excited to be playing with them, and very lucky for like that they want to. You know, so it's awesome. At the moment I'm trying to figure out the cover photo for Prim and Primal, and I have loads of ideas, you know what I mean? I have loads of really sick ideas, and they're really good. Like, I'm just trying to figure out which is the best one, and at the moment it's a mixture of the different scenes that were created in that album. So for instance, like, one of the scenes was where, like, it was something to do with the Mayans, like, and we were out in a forest and the Mayans were there, so there would be a forest jungle Amazon element to it or something like that kind of thing. And what else was there? There was let me think. There was like an urban environment, like a smoking area scene, you know, which was really cool. It was a kung fu master and an ape fighting each other, and they were the same strength. I mentioned this in the previous podcast, but that was a serious scene. That was actually the final track, which was track 6, and that was absolutely awesome. That's a great track. It really sounds like it as well, and what else was there? There was one that was an element of Latin jazz coming up to it. I didn't listen to much Stan Getz coming up to it, but he kept coming in my mind for some reason. And so it was cool to incorporate one track that was basically elements of Latin jazz mixed with, like, contemporary free jazz. It was very interesting. Like, Dominic kind of played, I asked Dominic to play like a kind of bossa kind of thing, and it sounded lovely. Like, then Derek mixed it up by, like, playing some really I don't know how to describe it, haunting double bass bow techniques, and it was really cool. This is a sick album, guys. I'm very, very proud of it now. And I will be getting this released on vinyl too, so this will be my first album on vinyl, which is awesome. You know, I always wanted the album on vinyl, and why not this one, you know? So other scenes, there was the magic carpet and stuff like that. I'm still coming up with ideas. Like, I have a carpet here, I'm not sure, like, will I use this particular one or not, who knows, but we're going to just see. Time will tell, you know. So we're just going to have to see. So the photo shoot would be hopefully at the end of this week. I can imagine the weather's going to be good. Look how beautiful it is at the moment. Like, Ireland is after turned into like some tropical paradise the past couple of years, you know. Which is awesome when it comes to the summer, that is, you know. So it's just exciting times, and I'm still happy to be here. I love Ireland. Like, anyone that knows me knows I love Ireland. Like, and people will be often saying, like, why don't you move away, why don't you play jazz in other countries and stuff like that, and you know, like, you can create whatever you want yourself anyway, and all I really want to do is just create awesome music and release it to the world. So I don't really see why I have to go over to other places to do that when I can do it here cheaper and be with my family, like, you know. So, like, rather than being in some absolute shithole in the middle of New York paying a fortune, I don't know. Maybe that'll change. Maybe I will go, but I don't know. I like it here. I love Ireland. Like, it's awesome. Like, it's green everywhere. It's just lovely, you know. It's actually a really creative place to live, you know. So I'm gonna stick it out for the moment. Exciting times. Really exciting times. Enjoying being back in the alto as well. The next couple of albums will be on alto, and I have also an awesome project that will be coming up, which will have Tom Corcoran again on drums. So this will be actually a quartet, and this will be a very punk kind of thing. It'd be really the essence of my kind of punky jazz nature. So yeah, it's just, the list goes on and on, I swear to God. Like, and yeah, I wish I had more bodies, you know, to do all this, but it's all good, you know. I'll manage, and if anything, it keeps me from not being bored. Boredom is just something I hate, and anytime I find myself bored, I'm just like, oh, fuck this shit. Like, do something that is beneficial, and there's always something to do. You know what I mean? There's always something you can do in life. Like, if you don't know what to do, you can do some exercise. If you don't want to exercise, paint a picture. If you don't want to paint a picture, write something, journal something. You can always do something, you know. So, go for a walk, whatever. Like, boredom is just, it's a fucker, you know. So, yeah. Keep mindful about that, I guess, you know, that you can always do something with your time. And we're not here for really a long time, so use your time wisely is what I say. Yeah, that's what I say. That's what I say. So, yeah. What else can I talk about? Like I said, it's just, I didn't really know what to talk about this time. Like I said, I'm just so busy with organising different projects and stuff at the moment. But I like keeping the flow of like a podcast once a week. I think that's kind of cool, and it pushes me as well to keep kind of talking about this little adventure. The ego was kind of coming to mind, like I was going to maybe discuss something on the ego, I guess. Like, that could be a very long conversation, but like, I don't know, there's different levels of the ego, I find, and you can use it as a tool, definitely, and you can use it to propel you forward in certain things, because your ego craves, let's say, the achievement or the success of creating things, or that feeling you get from them. I find there's levels to it, like, and it's about like using it and then letting it go, you know. It's really interesting. I think it's a very essential tool in ways to use the ego, you know, not be controlled by it, to use it and be aware of it, and have fun with it as well. You know, I really have fun with my ego. I love like the whole build-up albums and the trash talk and stuff. That's just the best crack ever. Like, anyone that doesn't think that's like good laugh is just boring. You know what I mean? It's just some crack, like just the build-up and like, come on, this is real jazz. Yeah, this is the next level. Remember this name. And it's good, you know, it's good fun, like, and it's good banter, like, you know, and it gets people going and it gets yourself going. It pushes you to really strive and go for your goals in life, you know, rather than, I find sometimes, you see, being too modest is a problem. Like, I think it's like it's actually, I think it's a Charlie Parker quote. He said it at that Dave Brubeck, that famous, or that Paul Desmond interview. He said, modesty will get you nowhere. And I believe that to a degree, you know. I think it's you know, if you're too humble and modest all the time, like, it's just, there's not really a push in that, you know what I mean? I think, like, people want to know the passion in you and the drive and stuff like that, and I think that's awesome. Like, I think it's essential for musicians to have an ego, and yeah, you know, it's about learning how to work with it and use it and then forget about it, you know. And it comes in phases or circles or whatever you want to call it. It's really interesting. I find coming up to albums, like, the levels of my ego change. Like I could be doing really intense exercise coming up to it, or just really intense practice, and I'm like so absorbed by these different things I'm doing at the time, and it's a thrill. Like it's absolutely a thrill. And then like there comes days then where you just forget about, and like you're in a different mindset altogether. You're just like, yeah, did the practice, did that work for the past couple of weeks or whatever. I'm going to chill out, not even like think or give a shit about music or any of this stuff. Like, and just, you know, it's the beauty of like having a new day every day, you know, and each day is different, you know. It's awesome, and how the energy changes in the world each day, you know. Some days it could be like, for instance, like it was super like beautiful the past while, like, and then there was one day where the weather was just absolutely shit, like, I was like, ugh. But at the same time, that day kind of helped me reflect in ways, you know, because I wasn't going out exercising, let's say, as much, or I wasn't bothered by going for a walk or whatever, you know, going out playing. There's advantages to every types of weather, you know, and trying to surf those waves is a good way to kind of manage it, rather than getting bogged down by shitty weather or you know. So I also noticed that I say you know quite a bit. I'm working at it, so I'm aware of it, just so you know. Oh God. Otherwise, yeah, stay tuned for all this music. Keep listening to my music as well. Tell everyone. Tell them it's the best music ever. You know, check it out. And I guess each time as well in these videos I'm going to like update the intro music, so add another part to it or something like that, you know. And that's actually part of a track I will be releasing, a pop track. And keep in mind, I do have loads of pop music that is unreleased that I will be releasing in the future. I'm just in a period where I'm getting that all together, and I'm really organising it and planning those releases. And it's a different game than the jazz world. Jazz world, I think, is a lot more intense and kind of, it's a bit, for me, from my jazz world, it's more like sprinting, like sprinting and coming up to training for a sprint and stuff like that, and it just has to be the best sprint you can make it on the day or whatever. And yeah, it's something to think about as well. I don't call practice as much anymore. I call it training. I'm training for a particular thing, because at the same time when I say training, I'm training for something that's going to come. I'm not just practicing for nothing, you know what I mean? So I don't know, I think that helps me practice more by calling it training. I'm preparing for something. It's like training for a battle. And yeah, another bit of advice I guess as well is, I'm just going to check if this camera's still rolling. Oh yeah, it is. In case it just cuts out, just know that it's nearly out of battery. But like, one thing to think about as well is, you know, you shouldn't be really in competition with anyone. Now I know I can seem quite competitive, but most of the time it's just me battling myself and my own kind of weaknesses and strengths. So yeah, something to think about. Like, don't try to be better than anyone. Don't try to be better than any other musician. Don't even try to have your music better than anyone else's. Just try to make it as best as it can be in your eyes and ears. That really helps, because in that way as well, you're not trying to copy or enhance someone else's kind of thing. You're you're trying to enhance yourself and really find your own authenticity. So yeah, that's enough for me. And live your dreams. It's a great world. It's awesome. And just do the work. If you want something, just do the work. Practice. You gotta practice. Train. Do your training. Prepare. Visualize your goals. Write them down. And do them. And move forward. So, see you later. Have a great weekend.